Is this you still struggling to get past the beginner boss? According to the trophy list, about 30% of people don't make it past this point. If you're a seasoned Elden Lord, then this guide probably isn't for you. If you're new to Elden Ring, or maybe want to give it another try, this guide is a quick route to get some easy levels and gain the upper hand early game. Starting the game off, the character selection doesn't really matter, however I do recommend starting the game as a samurai, as it begins with a katana that causes bleed damage, which is still pretty OP. For the gift, it also doesn't really matter, but to make early game easier, I recommend starting with one of the golden seeds, so you can increase your number of flasks. In this beginner area, there isn't anything you can do at this point. You can attempt to beat the boss, but you're supposed to lose, and if you're watching this guide, you probably don't have the timing down to beat this guy right now. Don't worry, you'll get your revenge eventually. For now, go ahead and die and we'll wake up in a cave. Down this little hole is a useful intro area that will teach you all the basic controls. If you are new, I recommend going through this little section, but I'm going to skip it for now. Let's move forward out of the cave, being sure to activate any of the sites of grease you come across. Coming up this lift, we will find a door that will take us out to Limgrave, which is the main area for this beginning section. Moving out the door, we'll find a white masked figure. Please do not attack him. He will aggro onto you, and every time you spawn this side of grace, he will attack you, which is incredibly frustrating. From this side of grace, we're going to continue forward to the Church of Ella in the north. You're going to see a giant golden knight. Do not attack him. Do not go near him. Go around him to the left-hand side as much as you can and get to that church without him aggroing onto. He will kill you without a second hesitation. Once you make your way to this church, you will find a merchant. Kale, he has a handful of useful items. At the very least, I recommend coming back for the torch. But for now, you probably don't have any runes, so activate the side of grace. From here, we're going to head almost straight north, ignoring the ruins for now, and instead go to the western side to activate the gatefront ruin side of grace. Rest here, and a mysterious woman will give you a whistle to summon a spectral steed named Torrent. After completing her dialogue, we're going to fast travel back to the Church of Ella, where you'll meet a strange blue woman beckoning you to come closer. Go ahead and talk to her and answer truthfully, and she will give you a bell that allows you to summon spirits, and a spirit ash of 3 wolves to summon in battle. I know my dialogue is getting a little bit ahead of the video, but just bear with me for a bit. I don't like cutting things out, and I want these guides to be as easy to follow as possible.
This way, tarnished. May I have a word? Torrance.
Now that we've collected a mount and some summons, we're going to go back to the ruins that we previously ignored. Feel free to fight any enemies along the way, but for the sake of making this video a little bit shorter, I'm going to skip past them. In these ruins, there are 2 things you want to grab. The first is a whetstone down the cellar that allows you to imbue your weapons with Ashes of War. These Ashes of War allow you to use powerful attacks or buffs. The second is going to be a map fragment for the western portion of Limgrave, found in the center of the ruins. After you've gathered both these items, I will meet you back at the gatefront side of grace. From this side of grace, make your way through the gate and up the hill to the west to Stormhill Shack side of grace. There is a large troll that will jump down to attack you, so be prepared for that if you do decide to fight a little bit. On your way up, you will notice a small golden sapling with an item underneath. Be sure to grab this item as it is another golden seed. Once you make it to the shack, grab the item, which is a stone sword key. This will be useful later, but not needed for this guide. Talk to the woman in the shed multiple times, and she will eventually give you a jellyfish summon. This summon is quite useful as it is very bulky, and it does poison your enemies, which will gradually kill them over time. Once you've exhausted her dialogue, we will continue east to the War Master's shack. Here you'll meet Bernal, who will sell you more Ashes of War. Some useful ones are Parry and Quickstep, but it really depends on your playstyle. Along the way you'll find some enemies, the Chiton Knight I believe they're called. They do drop a very cool armor set, so feel free to farm them a little bit to upgrade your armor. After finishing up with Bernal, we will continue to the east through a small camp. Hug the cliff to the north to find the Death-Touched Catacombs. In these catacombs, we'll find a second Uchi Katana. If you didn't start with a samurai, it is important that you grab this weapon as we will need it for the bleed for a big payoff at the end. If you did start with a samurai, congratulations, you're now power stancing katanas. I am going to slow this guy down through this dungeon to make it a little bit easier to follow along with. The skeleton enemies in this dungeon can be annoying as you need to strike them while they're down to completely kill them, or you can defeat them with certain holy weapons, but I don't think you have any of those at this point. I'm going to make my way through this dungeon avoiding all the enemies to make it a little bit quicker. After heading down these staircases, we're going to jump over the ledge and pull a quick U-turn. On the left-hand side, you're going to notice a small hallway. We're going to go through it and hang a left once exiting to another small hallway. On the ledge here, you're going to find your Uchi Katana. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward to get out of this dungeon, but feel free to explore to your heart's content. After you're finished with the dungeon, I will meet you back at the dungeon side of Grace. After exiting, we're going to continue to head east, passing the Saints Bridge side of Grace. You will hear someone yelling for help. That is Alexander. You can help him now, or you can also visit him later. I'm going to ignore him for now. Cross the bridge to find another merchant and continue forward to find the Summonwater Village outskirts side of Grace. This is where I'll meet you next. From the Summonwater Village side of Grace, we're going to head east through this village, and we'll eventually park our way down south to find the Third Church of America. You can attempt to fight the boss in the village if you want. He drops a useful summon that I used for most of my first playthrough. However, as you may have guessed, I'm going to skip him from now and meet you at the Church of America. You can jump down here utilizing a Spirit Spring. That will also send you back up if you jump on one. Here you will see a shiny beetle. Kill it to get the Sacred Blade Ash of War. This is one of those holy ashes that will kill the skeletons without them resurrecting. Now that we are at the Third Church of America, grab all the loot around it. You will find a Flask of Wondrous Physic as well as a Crimson Crystal Tear. Not super useful right now, but it'll come in handy in the near future. At this church, you'll also find a Sacred Tear, which upgrades the potency of your flask, restoring more health or FP. Behind this church, you'll also find a waygate that will send you to the Bestial Sanctum. Once there, head inside and rest at the side of Grace. At this point, Melino will likely offer to take you to the Round Table Hold. Feel free to explore there as much as you want. Once you're through, I will meet you back at the side of Grace.
I can take gathering. Very well.
Great. Now that you're back, we're going to head south from the Bestial Sanctum side of Grace to the Faroum Great Bridge side of Grace. While headed there, you will find another Erdtree sapling with a golden seed, so be sure to pick it up. You are likely very underleveled for the enemies in this area, so just run past them without looking back. Once at the side of Grace, you will notice a dragon patrolling the bridge. Just sprint past it. It might kill you once or twice, but just sprint. Our goal is to get across the bridge and head east to Lennis Rise. On your way there, you will find a graveyard. Loot it for a few golden runes. You can use these to gain extra runes for levels. Don't break them just yet though. Once at Lennis Rise, jump down using a Spirit Spring and activate the side of Grace. Now use that same Spirit Spring to jump up onto Lennis Rise and climb the tower to find a Memory Stone. This item increases your total number of spell slots. At night, there is a knight's cavalry that roams a bridge. It used to be easy to cheese by making it jump off the bridge for some easy runes. However, I think they patched it. You are welcome to try though. Here is some quick footage of me trying to cheese a knight. As you can see, it does jump off the ledge. However, it just kind of hangs out down there and eventually respawns back on the bridge. So, good luck, you're welcome to try, but I think they patched it. Now that we've covered all the important stuff at Lennis Rise, we're going to take the Spirit Ring back up to the graveyard and make our way southwest to Fort Farah. Hug the eastern wall as you make your way there, as there are many powerful enemies once you venture further inland. Once you get to the site of Grace, I will meet you there. Welcome to Fort Farah. You might have heard about or are familiar with the giant dragon that you kill for a ton of runes. Well, here it is. However, before we kill it, we're going to sprint through Fort Farah to grab some important loot. We're going to go in first because when we die, we don't want to lose all of our newly collected runes. Right off the bat, we're going to script through the center and climb with a ladder. You might get a little bit of poison on you, but don't worry, it shouldn't fully take effect, and if it does, you can kind of sprint past this, and it's no big deal. Once you get to the top of this ladder, open the chest and you'll get a medallion in half. This is important for later in your adventure, but not necessary for this part of your guide. Once you've gotten your medallion, we're going to hang a right, jump off of this ledge onto the larger building right in front of us. Be careful not to miss, as that does happen to me. We're going to skip past this first little hole in the ground and go into the second hole in the ground. There are spirit soldiers that will be summoned up here. Don't try to fight them, just skip past them. After dropping in the second hole, we're going to run around, grab this golden rune level 12, and jump from one ledge onto the other. Make your way around the corner, don't worry about the giant rats, just run past them. Fall down another hole, around the corner you'll see another glowing item. This is the Radagon Sword Seal. This is very important, very helpful. Go ahead and let those rats kill you as they can one-shot you, and this will teleport us back to the front of the menu. I don't know why I said menu, I meant it's going to teleport you back to that side of Grace outside of Fort Farah. Once you're back at the front, you can now go ahead and equip that Sword Seal and make sure you have both your Uchi Katanas equipped. We're going to run over and we're going to start wailing on this poor innocent dying dragon, like our life depends on it. This does take about 4 to 5 minutes, so I'm going to put this in ultra fast mode at times 20 speed. It still takes about 20 seconds. Without the bleed, this would take way too long, so that's why we have both the Uchi Katanas. Once you defeat the dragon, you get about 50,000 runes, on top of the other golden runes you've collected. That puts you up to about 72,000. Once you have defeated it, you can sprint back to the side of Grace to reset it, get the golden runes, and then do it again. However, I've never actually been able to make that work, so good luck. They may have even already patched it by now. I really don't know. However, if you've gotten all these golden runes so far, you will be up to about level 34. This is my stat spread. You can use your points however you want to. This is just the build that I like to make. If you want a part 2 for some more early game cheese to make yourself a little more OP and make your adventure a little easier, please leave a like and follow for more content. I hope you enjoyed the guide, everybody. That's all for now. Good luck and GG, everyone.